Hey everyone, one of my friends left me a comment and he wanted me to talk about what would 5 things I would do in case of World War III, okay? So I was kind of thinking about that, and I was kind of thinking, that's a great question and stuff, because there's so many things I'd want to do. I could think of hundreds of things that I'd want to do. But if I had to break it down to 5 things that I would do in case of some sort of nuclear war or crazy disaster like that. The first thing I would probably do, the number one thing, is I would get right with the people I know now. And as far as whatever religion you are, I don't care what it is, get right with whoever you believe in, take care of that. If you have any friends that you're currently friends with now that you've had negative interactions with or hate, if it's the last time they're ever going to see you, the last thing you want is to leave them on like a negative thing. So let's say they say, I seen him, but I think he passed away in the war. Last time I remember, talking to him, we had an argument, and God, I wish that's not how we left it. So the important thing is to talk to these people, not just leave a good impression when you leave, but get their numbers, get their email addresses, where they live. If anything goes wrong, this is going to be your network system that you're going to build on. You can help them, you can help their friends. If they lose contacts, you can help them. So it's more of a network base, as well as some friends that you already know. You want to get that network base going. So that's the first thing I would do. Build your base up, build that love and support up, so that way whatever happens, you're in your right mind. You can say prayers for people who are injured, and you approach this mentally stronger than what you would do if you weren't that way. Okay? Second thing I would do is I would definitely get provisions that you would need. Thyroid blocking pills to help you in case of a nuclear explosion. You take that and it kind of blocks your thyroid gland, thus making you have a better chance of staying alive. You take, I believe, one a day. You can check the directions on that. You put that those thyroid blocking inhibitors in your bug out bag, along with plenty of filters. They have this filter out called the Sawyer Mini. I mean, the thing is like $20. It's stupid that people shouldn't, at least one family shouldn't at least own one of these. In most countries and in most wars, famine, plagues, hurricanes, the biggest thing you see is someone drinks water that's bad right off the bat, and then they have some sort of stomach issues and parasites, all these different diseases that you can get from pathogens in unclean water. So make sure that you have water that is drinkable inside your house, whether it's water bottles, stored water. You can even buy trash bags that fit inside your bathtub, and essentially you put these bags in, and you can fill them up in case there's any sort of a hurricane or a disaster or whatever, and you have all that water. Could be 100 gallons, depends on how big your bathtub is, and you have that drinkable water. So the second thing I'd have is every provision that you could think of to survive at least a month to 3 months. 3 months would be pretty good. A year would be excellent and stuff, but you want to be able to, let's say the war's over in 3 months. Well, you can eventually move to another city, buy food again, and kind of work your way back up, depending on what happened. But you want to make sure that you have tents, warm clothes, and the ability that if you have to leave where you're at, you can put everything you need in a car and drive away, not look back, and everything that's going to keep you alive, including money, food, water, can all fit in that one car when you're leaving the city. that would be an excellent thing to do. So number 2 is to have all the provisions that you could possibly think of that you would need in case of a war. Food, water, like I said, the filters, bleach. There's going to be a lot of unclean things and stuff. The third thing that I would probably do is, if there was a war, a lot of people don't talk about this, but I would think that eventually martial law they would call martial law. Okay. Now all these people say they're going to bug out, they're going to do this, but you're going to be given the option to either bug out or bug in, depending on what you can do. Now, if you lived in a city like California, New York, a larger city, you're going to be stuck with an option to either leave the city or stay in the city. If you don't have enough time to leave the city and they call martial law after a couple days, and you're unable to leave the city and you're literally blocked in, then you're going to have to stay there and maybe, in some bad case, be stuck going to a FEMA camp or whatever can be provided from the state to you. If you're good enough, you can get out of the city and into a rural area where you could have a better chance of surviving. It's not going to be easy at this point, but it's better than the police literally blocking roads so you can't move or you can't do anything. That would be really bad and stuff. So one thing that I would recommend doing is, I have another video on Renegade Outdoor Survival that I put up not too long ago. I think it's got a couple thousand views or something, but I have a video about gray man theory, and my particular theory of what I would do, like a gray man theory. It's a little bit unorthodox. It's kind of a different way of looking at it, and it's pretty funny and stuff. Some people might find it offensive and everything, because I do a little bit of kind of shoddy acting in there. But for the most part, the point is getting out of the city and getting to an area where you can reestablish yourself, reinvent yourself, because that could be one of the things. Imagine if they called martial law, right? You have kids and family, and you're not allowed to leave anywhere, and then they need people to fight in the war. Okay, so let's say you have all these bug out items inside your house, everything you've saved. Well, they need all able-bodied adults and young teens, or 18, 19. They're going to not only need some things from you, but they might actually say, well, you're going to have to leave your home and come with us. And you're not even going to have the ability to bug out at that point. You're going to have to submit yourself to what the government thinks is best for you. So it's all a part of getting out of the city and getting to a safer location. And hopefully you've done all your studying, you have all your stuff with you, and if it works out that way, you're actually in a better location. Now, if you're elderly, you have medical problems, you're helping a senile family member out, overweight, you have some sort of issue where you cannot leave, and so you have to stay in your house. Well, then you need to make sure you have all your provisions inside your home so that you can literally just stay inside your house and ride it out and hope that the best, whatever happens, it lands in your favor or something. But you're also going to want a weapon. And I'm not talking a Swiss Army knife or some Nerf nunchucks and stuff in your basement. This ain't going to be no Karate Kid or something. So what you're going to need to do is look at a couple handguns and sorry about that, and buy something to protect yourself. Part 4, and this is a really important part, is you're going to have to make sure that you're in good physical shape before all this happens. Another thing that a lot of people don't talk about this is your teeth. I've heard stories of people in the military that have gone overseas and they have a tooth infection or something small in their tooth, and they're out fighting, they're out doing stuff, and they're literally on their hands and knees begging to pay for the nearest boat ride home because they're in that much pain over one tooth or a tooth infection or something small. You want to make sure you're having basic teeth cleaning, your teeth are in good shape. If you have diabetes or any sort of medical problems, you're also going to want to make sure that you have extra medical supplies. You know, stuff that's going to get you through a difficult situation. You know, if you don't have antibiotics, you can actually, in some states, you can have, fish antibiotics that kind of help you with that. I don't know how safe it is, but if you have no other choice, then you got no other choice. The fifth thing that I would do that's extremely important is have all your finances and everything that you think that is invested in tangible things other than U.S. promissory notes that essentially don't really mean anything. It's just a piece of paper with the president's picture on it and stuff. So if you get some silver, gold, if you have a home, have that. Also have some sort of stuff that you're going to stash just in case if you run into a situation you got to bug out. Well, you have an extra cash reserve stashed somewhere, either with another family member, another friend, but you have means to not only, if a war happens, you could either leave the country with this money, you could bribe yourself across a border into another area that's safer and just get out of the area. In the history, before the Nazis came in and murdered all the Jews, they had, and I've read story after story after story, but there was a small amount of time before that where they seen these alarm bells of things just don't seem right. Maybe we should leave. I don't know. We probably should get going, and then the people just said, well, I'll just stay and wait it out. I can't go. I have family here. So the people that stayed eventually down the road ended up getting slaughtered when all they had to do was bug out, leave to another area, just relocate strategically to a place that's more safe and get out of the area which was currently in danger. And had they have done that sooner, more people could have been saved. There would have been no problems and everything. So make sure you have a route that you can take off and get to that's safe. I think I've really overtalked this 5 things to do, and like I said, I could talk about this for hours, but there's just some things that come to mind that I would think would be very helpful and stuff. So go ahead and end the video with that. Please make sure to like and subscribe. The more likes I get, I guess it helps out the channel and stuff. So go ahead and do that. And if there's anything that I left out or you want to chat about, just leave it in the comment box below, and I'll make sure to get to that. And once again, thanks for tuning in to Renegade Outdoor Survival. And I'm Jeff, and have a good day, everyone.